Good evening, Navika, and good evening to all the fellow panelists. Look, Aam Aadmi Party is the Alcatraz from where logic managed to escape and swim to safety in the dead of the night. The debate should be about the alleged corruption and mismanagement because of the liquor policy under the watchful gaze of Mr. Sisodia. And here, AAP is trumpeting a propaganda piece written by a sympathizer in a newspaper whose credibility, frankly, is lower than the water table of Gurgaon. But before I begin, I have two issues and I will give you facts and only facts. Let me please rebut my two good friends, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia and Mr. Jasmine. You know, Mr. Jasmine talked about the conviction rate and he was poo-pooing it. Let me tell you, yes, by all means, both CBI and ED are not independent. They are caged parrots. I have said so many times. But while the ED conviction rate is 0.5%, CBI conviction rate is 71%. So they talk more serious business than the ED. So Mr. Sisodia should be worried, as Mr. Jain has been proven. Number two, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia is poo-pooing New York Times, saying, oh, they're rubbish. Then why did Mr. Modi write an op-ed for them called Guiding Light in 2019? और वो महात्मा गांधी के उपासक है कि एक झापड़ यहाँ पड़ता है तो दूसरा काल आगे करते हैं, लो हमें मारो भी. But now let me come to the two issues and they're very important. Just give me a couple of minutes because number one, let me give you the facts, Navika, on the charges relating to the excise policy that, by the way, our government has suddenly reversed. Delhi Chief Secretary's report entails prima facie violations of the GNCD Act 1991, Transaction of Business Rules 1993, Delhi Excise Act 2009, and Delhi Excise Rules 2010. Worse, there was financial quid pro quo at the top official level wherein Manish Sisodia took major decisions in violation of the statutory provisions. There were also, quote, deliberate and gross procedural lapses, quote, to provide post-tender undue benefits to liquor licensees. Excise Department gave a waiver of 144 crores, you also mentioned it, to the licenses of the tender license-free gross violation of Rule 4811B of the Delhi Excise Rule 2010. Also, Excise Department revised the formula of calculation of rates of foreign liquor without approval of the competent authority. Number two, now let me come to this so-called Delhi education model. You know, Navika, if you still believe that Arvind Kejriwal is telling you the truth, then you are one who rubs his nails every morning to cure baldness. Or main to nahi karta, thank God. His is the party that celebrates anarchy, that publicly implored citizens to elect goons and thugs, that bought out much of the media with taxpayers' money. Our government ad spending has increased by 4,273% over the last 10 years. Last year, they spent 488 crores on ads. And as for this education, Navika, just a minute. 52% of trained graduate teaching positions in Delhi government schools are lying vacant. Out of 1,027 Delhi government schools, 824 are functioning without a principal. Our promised 20 new colleges, opened only one, Delhi Pharmaceutical Sciences and Research University. Meanwhile, teachers of 12 colleges run by the Delhi government have not been paid their salaries for months. Even the Delhi High Court through Justice Prasad slammed the Delhi government on this. Our promised 500 schools. No new school has come up. Instead, it resorted to building new classrooms that many allege are being constructed at a higher cost than is merited. Moreover, you can't just increase the number of classrooms and therefore number of students while keeping the school facilities like library, playground, swimming pool the same. Finally, Navika, there is a 12% decline in students who passed their 10th compared to last year. Then you had that fraud Kerala team visiting the education model denied by the Kerala government. Navika, 10 seconds. In short, Kejriwal's education model is as reliable as the journalism of New York Times. Entirely appropriate that both are praising and congratulating each other. Rahul, to be honest, good evening to you. But, you know, listening to the previous panelists is the biggest test of ahimsa. You know, even though I am present digitally, I still feel the requirement for a straight jacket. ये कैसी भाषा है? ये कैसा logic है? और look at the xenophobia on display. Bihari, UP वाले भैया, what is this? You know, honestly, yours is a family channel, but you know, मैं भी दिल्ली से हूँ, मैं भी बहुत सारे words use करता हूँ, but मैं इतना ही कहूँगा कि आप कश्मीरी कोई स्पेशल नहीं है. अपने आप को पता नहीं जो समझ रखा है. You are as special as the rest of us. You understand? और ये जो आप कहते रहते हैं ना, हिंदुस्तान किसी के बाप का थोड़ी ना है. ये कश्मीर भी किसी के बाप का नहीं है. और कश्मीर किसी के बाप के बच्चों का भी नहीं है.
ना मैंने ये
Get this in your head.
सुनिए मेरी बात.
And number two,
दूसरे पैनलिस्ट की बात
Kashmir belongs to all of us. And all of us can register to vote there. Like us can register to vote in any state. तो ये अपनी बकवास बंद रखिए. Rahul, as I've said before, unfortunately, Kashmir has been turned into a snakes and ladders game. The ladders are provided by Pakistan and the snakes by Indians. और ये panels पे भी आ जाते हैं काफी snakes. I say Indians, but I wonder if these people think of themselves as Indians. Their first allegiance is to religion, second to Pakistan, third to China, fourth to dynasty. It is a fact, Rahul, that Hyderabad could so easily have been what Kashmir is today. And fools in the media would be writing column yards on its struggle, but for one man, Sardar Patel. And Kashmir could so easily have been what Hyderabad is today, but for two men, Nehru and Sheikh Abdullah. They set the board down for the snakes and ladder game, which their progenies have been playing ever since, making sure Kashmir's bubbling and ever-present communal bigotry, ethnic cleansing, terrorism, and religious fanaticism don't enter the India narrative. They talk of human and religious rights. But when have you heard them speak on the atrocities committed by Pakistan against Ahmadiyyas or Baluchs? Leave aside the Hindu and Christian minorities. When have you heard them speak out against China that has interned more than 1 million Uyghur Muslims in concentration camps and is feeding them pork? Tab wo Muslims nahi rehte. When have you heard them speak out against the brutal trampling of human rights of lakhs of Dalits, Gurkhas, women, Sikhs, refugees, homosexuals in Kashmir because of 370 and 35A? But I'll tell you when they do speak out, when their power and authority are threatened, like when Sheikh Abdullah spoke out and I quote, self-determination is our right. Countries that do not support it are our enemies. Or when Farooq Abdullah spoke out and I quote, they want to abolish 370 and we will remain silent. Inshallah, we will fight. We dare them. Allah would want that we gain independence from India. Quote unquote. It comes to one particular dynasty. You showed the clip of that, Miss Mehbooba Mufti. Rahul, one would be hard-pressed to find a bigger hypocrite or a bigot. From choosing a rape accused as an election candidate to threatening rivers of blood. If 370 was abrogated, to shedding tears and mourn the death of terrorist Wani, to saying flags other than the tricolor will fly, to threatening sedition of saying, quote, why would a Muslim majority state want to stay with India, unquote, to wanting to introduce punishment according to Sharia law in Kashmir and death by stoning. Mehbooba Mufti has scaled all methane-spewing landfill summits. The only people objecting to this decision are these bigoted Islamic dynasts because this threatens their ability to control Kashmir. Kashmir किसी के बाप का नहीं है, ध्यान में रखना ये बात. Good evening, Navika, and good evening to all my esteemed panelists. Navika, to be honest with you, I think we are making a mountain out of a molehill. Bihar is one of the best governed states in India. Ever since it became secular last week, there is no crime. All reports of murder, rape and kidnappings are exaggerated by Modi media. And if the recently inducted law minister faces imminent arrest for kidnapping, I ask, what is wrong? Kidnapping has been misconstrued by the right wing. It is not an offense, but merely an exercise to get to know someone better. All you do is politely make sure your guest doesn't leave your premises. I ask you, what is wrong in that? Tehseen, for example, he kidnapped me when he took me out for lunch. I was under his watch for 3 hours. I could not move. I could not drink. I could only eat what he ordered. And in the end, I had to pay a heavy ransom just to be able to escape. So please, let us be balanced about this. But to be serious, Navika, according to the ADR, 68% of current Bihar MLAs, 68%, 163 in all, are facing criminal charges. 51% are facing serious criminal charges of murder, rape, dacoity and kidnapping. This figure is 10% more than the last assembly. 54 of them are RJD MLAs, 47 are from the BJP, 20 from the JDU, 18 from the Congress. And all 5 AIMIM MLAs face serious criminal charges, all 5. 75% of the JDU BJP cabinet since 2017 had criminal charges against it. Right now, the JDU RJD cabinet is 72% criminal charges. So thoda improvement aaya. Thing is, if the pool to choose from is facing criminal charges, the cabinet will be as well. But the cake, Navika, belongs to the holier than thou preachy communist MLA Mehboob Alam. He faces 28 serious cases of murder, attempt to murder, kidnapping, extortion, prostitution racket. Then there is one Anand Singh, fondly called Chote Sarkar. He is facing 68 criminal cases. You may remember him from that famous meme where he delightfully utters the place where Lawrence School is situated. But anyway, remember Hari Shankar Tiwari from UP, the first gangster to win elections from jail? He and his family first joined the Congress.
then BJP, then SP, then BSP, then JDU. Remember Raja Bhaiya? BJP, BSP arrested him under POTA. SP dismissed POTA charges within 15 minutes of coming to power, made him a minister. BJP, that took his help in 218 Rajya Sabha elections, had made him a minister in 1997. Democracy, Navika, is more often than we'd like to admit, not so much the defeat of the elected as it is of the electorate. And anyway, as I said, choosing a minister facing imminent arrest on kidnapping charges is probably a tourism incentive, like Hotel California. Once you enter, you can't leave.